blah, 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 blah. Well, that's not how you do it. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Hey fellow fiction fanatics, I'm Chase. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my monthly wrap-up for May. In May, I was actually able to read 6 books, so let's get into it. The first book I was able to read was House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. This book's kind of hard to describe without giving away spoilers or anything. So this book features Bryce, and someone very close to her dies, and years later she is determined to figure out who actually did it. And she has to team up with, I believe they're called Asteri, but they're basically angels, to solve this case, and they don't like each other. So that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about it going in. So I loved the last 300 pages of this book. It was absolutely phenomenal. It was just non-stop, mind-blowing plot twists and reveals. It was just packed full of adrenaline. It felt like you were on a speeding bullet train, and it was just absolutely amazing, and I loved it. The thing is, this book is almost 800 pages, and we had 400 pages of build-up that was completely unnecessary. This book could have been 500 pages, and I would have absolutely loved it. We didn't need that much buildup. That could have been shortened down. So that was just a little irritating to me. Also, this was just full of unlikable characters. Literally, the only people that I liked died. Also, I didn't care for the romance. Yeah, I don't need to hear about your sexual thoughts about this person before you even show any real interest in them. It's just gross. Also, I really didn't care for the excessive swearing. To me, it felt like Sarah J. Maas was just proving that this was an adult book because she could use the F word every other page. The embodiment of the character was that they swore a lot, and I'm like, couldn't have had more to them than that. Yeah, it was just a front, but still. Also, everything about the war, both in the past and the present, it was just so vague that it really didn't have any substance to me. So I was like, okay, there's a war, but why? And what's going on with that? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. And honestly, I'm not sure if I want to carry on because I thought this book wrapped up well on its own, and I haven't heard great things about the second one. But if you have read the second book, House of Sky and Breath, let me know down in the description if you think I should continue. Seriously, if I had enjoyed the ending and everything as much as I did, this book would have been 2.5 stars, but because the ending was so amazing, I'm giving this book 4.5 stars. That is a huge jump. And this completed my A to Z challenge. And for the Magical Readathon, it completed the Inscription challenge, which is to read an intimidating book. The second book I read was Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. So if you don't know what this is about, this is a story all about Nick and Charlie. They meet on their first day of class. Charlie is the lovable gay friend, and Nick is the rugby team captain who's trying to figure out his sexuality. These two become fast friends, and it eventually leads to a little something more. I just absolutely fell in love with this. I loved the characters, I loved the art style, and the romance was just so sweet. It was absolutely adorable, and I loved every minute of it. I want these graphic novels so bad, but so does everyone else. So they are really hard to get right now, so that's the only thing I'm mad about. So obviously, I gave this book 5 stars. And this completed my What I'm Wearing challenge, which was to read a book with green, pink, and some flowers on it. And this definitely works for that challenge. And then the third book I read was Heartstopper Volume 2. This was just a fabulous sequel. I love seeing Nick and Charlie together, and I ship them 100%. This is just such a great love story, and I loved being with them again, and I'm very much looking forward to continuing this series. And so I gave this book 5 stars. The fourth book I read was The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. So this is the story of twin sisters who live in a town where everyone believes the lighter the skin, the better. And both these girls are white passing, and we actually follow them throughout their lives. One girl marries a black man, and the other girl marries a white man, and she never discloses that she's actually black. And then one day their daughters meet, and we see how that changes their lives. I really like that we got to learn more about the daughters and really see their lives as well. It was interesting to see how their decisions impacted their lives and how it impacted the lives of their daughters, just how different their lives were. Although I would have liked a more conclusive ending, I felt that this was an intriguing and thought-provoking read, and I'm glad I finally had the chance to pick it up. So overall, I give this book 3.5 stars, and it completed my Pop That Book Bubble challenge. And the fifth book I read was My Contrary Mary by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. So in this story, we're following Mary, Queen of Scots, who just so happens to be able to turn into a mouse. These books are always so good. I love the humor in this. Throughout this book, I'm just constantly laughing. The modern references are amazing. Just had me grinning throughout the book. The characters are all so unique and fun and add to the story in their own way. I love the romances that we see in this book. The plot was amazing, and these stories always keep me on my toes. And I also love seeing the cameos from a previous book. So there was only one thing that I would say I disliked. So I'm gonna put a little spoiler here, so if you just don't want to hear, just wait till this goes away. So I didn't love the fake death of the mother. It just was a little ridiculous to me. Either have her actually die or don't. Instead of doing the, ha, I was just testing you, I'm not actually dead. That was the only thing I disliked about this book, but it was very minor. So overall, I gave this book 5 stars, and it completed my odds and ends challenge. And the 6th and final book that I was able to read was The Field Guide to the North American Teenager. So Norris is a cynical black French Canadian, and he is moving to Austin, Texas, something that he is not very happy about. Everything he knows about American high school, he's learned from movies and TV shows. And he thinks that he can categorize everyone he meets. I liked the characters, I liked Norris's sarcastic humor. I think the new cover is absolutely gorgeous, and it was really interesting to me because I've just started my master's program. In this book, they referenced something that I had just learned about in my class, and that was Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which I was like, hey, I know what that means, and that was pretty cool. I felt like this book was just so predictable. I really didn't like that ending. I see what they were trying to do, but it really just didn't work for me. So overall, I gave this book 3.5 stars, and it completed my challenge to read a book with a male protagonist. And it also completed Books in Lala's Buzzword Challenge. The word had to feature a direction, and so the Field Guide to the North American Teenager definitely works. So I'd love to know some books that you were able to read this month, and if you've read any of these, I'd love to know what you thought of them. So let me know down in the description. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to share the love. I'll see you next time. Bye!